you have had like a very interesting career, which is like, started with you having your own design studio, then working in an enterprise business, which is Locus, I'm guessing. And
Mhm.
at the same time, now we are working with a B2C product, right? So something which I want to understand is like, what are like the differences which are there, in all three of these? Like how does a role of a designer change when in each set of these companies?
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, let me try to answer that. Cool. So the design studio was more of like an hobby. Me and a couple of my friends started it because we were all really interested in design and development and like so. And we saw an opportunity in college. There were a lot of small startups and societies coming up, and we thought we could help them with design. And in return, we can probably earn a little bit of pocket money and buy high-speed internet to play games. So that was kind of the intention there. The best part about that was that we got a chance to explore the breadth of design in college. And I'm from an engineering college, so design was something which we were just playing around with. We didn't really have anyone to guide us or anyone to mentor us there. So we really got a chance to explore the breadth because we were into branding, we were into app design, web design, photography, everything that basically the client wanted us to do. Um, but the problem there was that our learning was very limited to the depth in which my clients wanted to go. So, and as I said, there was no one to guide us. So we were just learning on our own. So when after college, I got a chance to actually go into the industry and work with people who can mentor me and guide me on what are the best practices around these things. I took a leap into that. My career actually started with two small stints with early stage startups. One was Talent Pad, one was Pepper Tap, because one was into recruitment, other was into grocery delivery. After that, I joined Locus, as you said. It was my first enterprise stint. And Locus is into B2B logistics. I was the first designer there, and I actually got a chance to work on their entire suite of products, which was really amazing at that point. And the exciting part that I liked about Locus was that we were designing for a very niche audience. Like we were designing for warehouse managers, logistics professionals, delivery fleets, and all which have been using very legacy software to begin with, or probably people who were planning everything manually. So it was quite challenging to design products for them, as it was not just about delivering the right features, but actually making it simple enough for them to starting to use, and also to make them comfortable in using it. Because that resistance to change, like however they were used to doing things, and someday someone comes and that, hey, why don't you use our product? So people actually have that resistance. So I think what how we tackled that there was that we went to these warehouses, talked to our users, and actually figured out what are the challenges they face or what they find comfortable in their current processes. And then we designed a product which really smoothened out the transition from this manual or the legacy softwares to how things should be done. And I think it was very interesting for me to design this thing because I had no references whatsoever. This was like a very novel product that we were creating, and I couldn't like see how my competitors are doing and then do that. So everything was from scratch, and it really helped me polish my UX skills because these are the kind of challenges you usually don't get to do. Like in other companies like grocery delivery and other things, I have a lot of references. There are so many startups out there in the West and India as well who are doing these things, right? So already have a lot of references. Your users are used to a lot of stuff, so you don't really need to revolutionize things there, because if you change the playfield completely, then users will be uncomfortable. But here in Locus, we actually had a very different challenge because you are introducing people to technology and making them comfortable so that they know that this is something that will increase my productivity rather than probably take my job away, was a very big challenge for us. I was in Locus for around 2 years. But then I think I wanted to do something different. I wanted my design to touch more users, and that's where Gojek came into play. Like, firstly, its scale is huge, and the wide array of services that Gojek actually has made it like a very obvious choice for me. But honestly, I didn't expect the surprise it had in store. Not only I got a chance to design products for millions of users in Southeast Asia, but also got to work with an amazing team, which I haven't gotten a chance to work in my previous company. So yeah, I think I've been in Gojek for almost 4 years now. I've seen the team grow from 30 odd designers when I joined to over 120 now. And the learning in Gojek has been exponential for me. I was dazzled by the resources they put in research and truly understanding their users and the customer obsession this company has. And not just in design, in product engineering, and even the leadership is really, really customer centric. And this was also a big shift for me as a designer because I've always been a person who has been very excited to come up with innovative ideas and jump to solutions. But here, I think it grounded me a little bit. I spent considerably more amount of time understanding my users and understanding the problems in details before actually jumping onto how we can solve it. Um, yeah, I think also not to mention that Gojek has a great culture, and the opportunity for growth that I got here is literally tremendous. I couldn't even imagine to grow and take responsibilities at the pace which I did at Gojek. So yeah, I think I got lucky that way.
Yeah. So something interesting which I realized is when you're working with an enterprise product, you are almost never the end user of the product, right? So which
Mhm.
brings me to the question which you kind of touched upon, which is like, trying to understand the user's problem, trying to think from their point of view, and all these challenges which comes up when you work on an enterprise product, right? Because you're not the end user. How did you tackle them? Like, how did you go about the entire thing?
I think very honestly, designers are never really the users. We might be a small segment of the users, but we are never really the entire user base. So I think that's where research comes into play. In Locus, we actually used to go to warehouses and observe these warehouse managers. I actually sat on back of the delivery boys. We can actually make deliveries with them to figure out what are the challenges they face there. And similarly, in Gojek, we have like an intensive research team. They're based out of the countries we operate out of, and we do very in-depth research. I remember there was this product where we were trying to. It was called Go Transit. We were trying to bring public transportation into the Gojek ecosystem. So we actually went to a user's house, like a multiple users' houses, and then we actually observed what their entire day looks like. Like when they wake up, they basically see when the bus is about to come. And this is basically for long distance journeys, by the way. So they take a Gojek, a two-wheeler from their house to the bus station. They wait for the bus, then they travel with the bus to probably the closest station to their office. And then they take again a car or a two-wheeler to their office. And what are the different problems that they face throughout this journey? Like it was a very interesting immersion for us to understand it and actually experience it for ourselves as well. So yeah, be it B2B, be it B2C, I think it's never good to assume that you are the user. You might be a small part of it, but there is a whole different dimension that you need to explore.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Product Stories for more such episodes.